New York Post. Zohran Mamdani gets hero's welcome from lefty Dems at AOC-hosted breakfast in D.C. Meanwhile, Democrat strategist says party should pray long and hard for an effing depression in the United States. So I want to highlight this real quick just to point out, as mad as we all may be about Trump and the Epstein thing, I'm still like, I'll put it this way. I might get mad at my brother, but I'm not really that mad. Like, at the end of the day, he's my brother. You know what I mean? The Democrats are psychotic. And so there's look, Trump can say whatever he wants. I ain't voting for these people.
I've heard this multiple times. Who was the last person that said this? Just a couple of years ago, saying like they were praying for depression. Or
Bill Maher had said it.
Oh, it was Bill Maher that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, not cool, Bill.
Yeah. You should have mentioned that to him when you were there. You should have been like, hey, so what about that depression?
I mean, true. And a lot of people, were talking about, like, when I sat down with Bill, and politics was like with his show Club Random, it's general conversation. So politics only comes in a little bit and then he tries to change the subject. Mm-hmm. But I digress. I respect him. I do. I appreciate that he, I don't know if you saw that John Leguizamo clip.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man. John Leguizamo's on Bill Maher's show, and he says there's no left in this country. There's a center with a slight left and then far right. And Bill Maher is like, his brain explodes. He's like, what?
John Leguizamo is a particular brand of crazy.
He is.
It's like, how do you go further left than communist?
But their kind of self-image, they don't even realize that sort of lack of self-awareness is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that say that, like, Warner Brothers and that CNN is now pro-Trump. That they're like, David Zaslav has turned CNN into a pro-Trump network.
Who said that?
Just that is the general sentiment you will see online. The type of person who says that there is no left in this country, there is a center and a far right, are the same people who say that CNN is now a pro-Trump network.
I'm gonna pick on you, Jess. I'm gonna pick on Jess Margera because I was tweeting at him earlier. He does have a really funny picture. I respect his profile picture on X. It's morbidly obese Cash Patel. But he made this insane post where he said that Jeffrey Epstein was the largest donor to Pam Bondi. And I saw that and I'm like, that's just not true. And so I went on ChatGPT and I said, did Epstein fund Bondi? And no, that's not correct. That's never been correct. And then I posted the screenshot and he responds with, now for those that are familiar, he's like, D-list celebrity. I'm not trying to be a dick. He's in a band called CKY. They're in the new Tony Hawk game that just came out, the remake. And he posts open secrets. And let me see if I can just find the image and show you exactly. And I'm using this as an example of how the left doesn't know what is going on in the world. He posts open secrets, which tracks funding, and it says, like, information organization unavailable. And he uses that to imply that, here we go. Let me pull this up. I got it. I'll grab his tweet. Here we go. This is your run-of-the-mill lib on the internet. He says, Epstein was Pam Bondi's biggest campaign donor as Florida Attorney General from 2011 and 19, won a ton of evidence lawsuits. He then said, why am I a better journalist than anyone in mainstream media in 90 seconds while wearing a Pink Floyd pajama pants making coffee? And then he posted this. And then I think my response is in here.
What did he actually put?
He's just a drummer in a band that has like a moderate degree of notoriety. But I highlight him only because this is what these people do on these liberals.
But just, did he completely make it up? Or
yes.
Did he misread the data?
So let me show you. I posted this. There is no evidence or record that Epstein gave money to Pam Bondi. He says, wait, I effed up. He was the second biggest donor. Good eyebrow. And he highlights this from Open Secrets to Pam Bondi. Organization unavailable for these records, 436,000. Here's my point. What that means, organization unavailable, is that it's aggregate data from various sources.
Yes.
So there's no singular group, and potentially due to privacy laws, they don't know exactly where the individual donations are coming from. Because these people don't know anything. Okay, they don't know anything about politics. Homie Jess Margera says, why am I a better journalist? He's afflicted by Dunning-Kruger worse than I've ever seen. And so then I responded to him. I said, brother, please, for the love of God, you are out of your depth. I use open secrets every day. Number two, you're highlighting as an aggregate of anonymous data due to aggregation, limited information. You could argue you think some of that was Epstein, but there's no records. You're just making it up. I said, look, here's DeSantis.
I love it.
Did you know that DeSantis got $63.6 million from Organization Unavailable? I said, we got him, boys. Emily Randall of Washington got $214,000 from Organization Unavailable. I said, oh my God, it keeps happening. Epstein is everywhere. Lisa Forbes, appellate court, Organization Unavailable. I said, no, not Tony Evers, the Democratic governor of Wisconsin. 1.1 million from Organization Unavailable. Here's my point. This is,
By the way, nice job with that. Very
Oh,
good.
I'm open secrets all the time, and so this is what's frustrating. This is what liberals are. This is why they vote socialist. Dude saw a meme somewhere probably that said Organization Unavailable. That's because it's Epstein, and then he went, "Yup," and then tweeted it out like, huh, "Why am I such a good journalist?" And this is what all liberals are like. Okay, I say all, most. This guy's got 23,000 followers. Okay, not the biggest personality, but certainly not a nobody. And here he is every day. He's posting insane, cultish psychobabble. And I'm like, my dude, please. Okay, I'm a fan of CKY. I love the band. I even invited him to come jam. And like, I will just show you anything you want to ask about. And you're still allowed to hate Trump. But this is what I mean about liberals. This is like John Leguizamo saying there's no left in this country. They never even Google this stuff. Yeah. And then they go around saying I'm a better journalist than everyone else. Yeah.
I think the best approach to that is if you don't have the time to like look into something, just assume it's fake. Because it's the internet, just assume it's fake. I saw something today that said like Kash Patel's girlfriend is a Mossad agent. I said,
yeah,
Wait, really? Maybe. I have no idea.
Wait, is that true?
I have no idea.
That proves it.
That must be true. Why am I a better?
Why are they
journalist
covering it up?
here?
Yeah.
Right? Why are they covering up?
Kash Patel.
Look, I have no. That's the thing though. Like, if you're on the internet, you should assume that 90% of what you're looking at is probably fake to raise their engagement.
You know what my favorite internet meme is? On the internet, no one knows you're 12.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of adult men on X right now, furiously thumbing away on their phones, being like, "You're stupid. You like Trump. You're so dumb," and they don't realize they're talking to a 12-year-old who is just going like, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. You see that a lot, especially when the responses are ridiculous garbage, like just pulled out of nowhere. It's
45-year-old man pro-Trump arguing with a 13-year-old Democrat.
Not even Democrat, just
Yeah.
as post.
Anarchist.
Not even just 13-year-old.
Wants to watch the world burn.
Not even. They don't know enough about the world to want it to burn at all. They just think it's funny because people are screaming on the internet and they can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. Which is going to make the future weird, mind you. Like this generation grows up on the internet where they can say whatever they want to whoever they want. What's that going to be like?
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when I'm scrolling through threads and I see two people like passionately arguing with each other, I'm like, don't they have things to do?
No, this is the thing. Sometimes I see it. I sort of put out my, some policy thing or whatever, and then you look and they look at the replies, and then it just goes on, and they're having this endless debate. Two people, I have no idea, and it's gone way off point from whatever the first thing was.
I guess it makes them feel
accusing each other of being this or that.
Yep.
And exactly, that's what I think. Like, what is this? What are you getting from this?
I suppose it gives them some sense of fulfillment to sit there and argue with another person. All that makes me feel like is like you're out in the middle of the ocean screaming at nothing, which is a good reason not to do it. But people can't help themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're doing it because it makes them laugh. The For the Lols is still just as meaningful and current as it was 20 years ago.
I'm not talking about the 13-year-olds. I'm talking about the actual
these are adults. These are grown
that
people.
Sit there, or the adults that sit there and passionately argue.
Argue with them, yeah. Well, look, people are emotional.
Yeah.
And men are just as emotional as women. They're just emotional about different things. So they can. That's what the internet's for. It's for yelling at people, I guess. But I don't know that that's ever going to change.
No. It's baked into the way the internet works.
As long as there's internet anonymity and there are people that take things seriously, once those, the paths cross of the S posters and the people that are very committed to whatever topic is being discussed, look out.
See,
so apparently, Roz Alerts posted that 8:45, the House is set to vote. It's been confirmed? Couldn't confirm. He says the House is set to vote on a measure that would force the release of the Epstein files. Yeah, it's probably real honest. And it's funny because when I, what I do love about the internet is that most people know that I post things sarcastically to make a point. But
most,
People watching the show. No.
Okay,
Most people
care.
watching this show.
Okay. Fair enough.
The corporate press has no idea. So they've simultaneously written two stories at the exact same time. One is Tim Pool insanely defends Trump's cover-up of the Epstein case, while simultaneously other outlets are writing, even Tim Pool is slamming Trump over Epstein because they can't understand sarcasm because they're one-dimensional thinkers and they're probably NPCs.
And you shouldn't use tone indicators on the internet. It's bad.
I agree with that.
You should just allow people to not understand
Assume.
what you're saying.
I mean, it's fun that way, I guess.
By the way, can they even do this? Like, what's the resolution going to do?
Just so long as it's not classified material, I think that they can at least pass it and say, look, we tried. Maybe possibly it's cover for the midterms. Look, we passed legislation. We said that we wanted it left, put out, and we don't have the ability to make him so.
Apparently, Ro Khanna said that he and Massey have the votes to force a vote. They just need 218, he told me. Now, so what happened was Ro Khanna's initial amendment would have forced the DOJ to publish graphic materials. It said any evidence must be made public in 30 days. And so immediately, at first, when I heard that Ro Khanna was saying we're going to vote on publishing the files, I was like, hey, let's go. I support this. The next morning, I was wondering why Republicans voted no, and I looked up the amendment, and it said any evidence must be published. I'm like, well, of course Republicans are going to vote no on that. And so that's when I said this would require the publishing of all the graphic child materials on the DOJ website. Why? They can't do that. And all these libs started attacking me saying, someone said spinning faster than an F5 or whatever. And then Ro Khanna agreed with me. Came on my show and said, we are not trying to do that. Our understanding is they wouldn't have to, but you're right. We're going to amend this and make sure that's very clear. And I said, oh, okay, great. Then you have my support. So all of these libs came out desperately to defend a bad amendment that we don't want passed, while I'm saying we do want the files released. So I hope they are going to put forward Ro Khanna and Massey. I hope they put this one forward and we get it. And you know what? If Trump's on it, then good. Release it faster. I don't care. I ain't playing these games. Whatever this is, we need to put it to rest.
It's like when it was a couple of years ago, they put something through that was it was banning lynching, and
right.
And all of the Republicans voted no to the ban because there was a bunch of other stuff in the bill, of course, that was that it was full of that would have been bad for everybody, and they put no. But then a bunch of people are like, look at the Republicans say that they're okay with people being lynched.
This is what they do. It's infuriating. The California legislature, the Democrats did something like this where they blocked a bill from a Republican that would have made trafficking kids for sex described as a serious and violent crime that would have automatic jail terms. They were embarrassed about the fact that they were on the wrong side of such an unbelievable issue. So then they put in an amendment that called for an investigation into it or something, and then they ran. And then, of course, the Republicans voted against that because they wanted the real crime. Then they ran ads against the Republicans saying, you are for child sex trafficking. I mean, it's literally the most cynical, disgusting thing I've ever seen. But this is the game that they always play.
Maybe we just need the United States as a republic to collapse and then Trump to rise up as the emperor and just whip this country in shape and bring the glory of the American empire.
I mean,
I say things like this, and then everyone laughs, and then some journalist somewhere is like, oh,
there you are.
And they're
there he
feverishly
goes
writing
again.
it up. There he goes again.
I don't endorse, but I might not disavow.
I will say how weird it is to the way I talk on the show is largely how I talk to my friends. I'll make a joke and I'll say maybe Trump just needs to arrest all the Democrats and then take the country over as an authoritarian dictatorship. And then everyone's like, okay, we get it, Tim, and they roll their eyes. But corporate press are so stupid that they're like, whoa,
not
Tim wants Trump to be a dictator. A lot of them. But I get it. Some of them malicious.
I would say 80% evil, 20% stupid.
Stupid and evil. Why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say porque no los dos? Is that what it is? It's a taco meme. You guys remember that one? Remember? The little girl?
No, I don't.
You don't know the meme?
No.
It's like a little girl, and they're like, do you want soft shell or hard shell? And she's like, why not both? Or something like that. And then it became...
Oh, that's... Okay, yes, right now I know it.
¿Por qué no los dos? Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.